Hey guys, this is our last week before actual spring break, and we are going to be doing a quiz in the middle of this video. So there'll be a section of that. Make sure you do have a piece of paper out for your notes. You will be actually submitting a selfie, okay, with yourself holding your notes or the notes/practice work, and you're going to upload that into Google Classroom. That way I can at least somehow see y'all. This was me and my daughter with my little boy. He was passed out. He was out to the world. You can barely even we couldn't even get his eyes open. So let's go ahead and get into it, and we're going to start off with some review problems. Okay, what I want you guys to do is I want you to pause this video and I want you to complete these 4 problems. All right, reminder, this is all essentially distribute and combine like terms. Now we have to remember with like number 1, it's a positive 1, so it's good, nothing to be done. That's a positive 1, so that's good. So I don't have to distribute anything. I just need to add up my like terms. Okay, and I want to make sure I go in order. So my a to the thirds go first. So 5 a to the third plus 3a to the third. That would be 8 a to the third. My a squareds should be second. So I have 8a squared plus negative 2a squared. And that is going to be 6a squared. And then my numbers, the negative 4 and the 1. Oh, I don't know what just happened there, guys. Go back to here. I must have accidentally hit a button. My apologies. Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. Okay. All right. Our next one. This is subtraction. Subtraction. And if we still follow the same principle, positive 1, that's good. But this has a negative 1. So I actually do need to distribute the negative 1. So negative 1 times 4x is negative 4x. Negative 1 times 3x squared is negative 3x squared. And negative 1 times negative 6 is positive 6. And then we're going to add up our like terms. Our x squareds go together. 2 plus negative 3 is negative 1. So I have negative 1x squared, and those are gone. My x's go together. 5x and negative 4x is 1. So I have positive 1x. And then I have 5 plus 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. And I'm done. Okay. For number 3, this is the distributive property. So we just need to distribute. And we have to remember that when we are multiplying, because this has some variables being multiplied, if you multiply same bases, you've got to add the exponents. So 7r to the third times 5r squared. 7 times 5 is 35. And we got to remember the little things like r to the third times r squared. Remember, I add those exponents. 3 plus 2 is 5. 7r to the third times negative r. That'd be negative 7. And we have r to the third times r to the first. So that's going to be r to the fourth. The last one, 7r to the third times 4, would be positive 28 r to the third. None of those are like terms, so that's it. The last one and the hardest of them is putting a lot of this together. Okay, so I see there's addition between these, but I have some things to distribute first. So let's start with distributing. 3x times x. Remember, when I multiply x's, I add the exponents. So 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 4x to the fourth is positive 12. X to the fifth. 3x times negative 8x squared. That is negative 24x to the third. Okay. In the second one, we need to distribute. This is a positive 5x here. So 5x squared times 5x is going to be positive 25x to the third. Remember, x squared times x, we add the exponents. 5x squared times 5, that's going to be positive 25x squared. And 5x squared times negative 5x to the third would be negative 25x to the fifth. So I start running out of space there. Now we're going to add up our like terms. And as I'm looking through here, because I need to make sure I put it in standard form, I want my biggest exponent first. So my x to the fifths. I have 12x to the fifth plus negative 25x to the fifth. So that is negative 13x to the fifth. My x to the thirds, negative 24x to the third and positive 25x to the third. That's going to be positive 1x to the third. And then we have 3x squared plus 25x squared. That's going to be positive 28x squared. And there's my answer. Okay, what I'm going to need you guys to do is I want you to go ahead and pause the video, and I need you to go to Alex, okay, using your Alex account, and you're going to get prompted to take a little quiz on this. Now, the quiz is basically for me to get a quick check and see how you're doing on this stuff. You may use your notes on it, okay? So let's go ahead and pause this and take care of that quiz right now. All right, hopefully you've taken care of the quiz. And now we're going to get into our lesson today. Okay, so today, my grasshoppers, we are going to be multiplying polynomials. Now, this is really an advanced, like, distributive property problem. Okay, so you're going to see me doing this right here. I'm going to show you what's called the box method. And the box is something that will help you organize your information. So when I look at this problem, we have two things, a binomial multiplied to two things, a binomial. So since I have two things multiplied to two things, I would make a 2x2 box. And on the outside of your box, you're going to put your different binomials. So my z minus 6, I'm just going to go ahead and put that on the side. Z minus 6. And my z minus 12, I'm going to go ahead and put that on the top. And now what this does is it organizes us into our multiplications. So for this box, we're going z times z. Z to the first times z to the first. Well, that's z to the second. Then I go z times negative 12. Well, that's negative 12z. Okay, I'm done with this one, and now I'm on to the negative 6. So I have negative 6 times z. Well, that's negative 6z. And then I have negative 6 times negative 12. And that is going to be positive 72. Now, I'm going to look for like terms on the inside. So I have my z squared. My z's here that I'm circling, you're going to add those up. So negative 6z plus negative 12z is negative 18z. And notice when I'm adding, remember, we don't mess with exponents. And then we have positive 72. And there's my answer. Okay. Now, that's not the only way to do it. Okay. You will typically see me use the box more often, but this can be thought of as the FOIL method, and it's just distribution. Okay. So if I'm using the FOIL method, I'm starting off with the 5x, and since there's multiplication here in between these, you're going to distribute a 5x into both of these. Okay, so 5x times 2x is 10x squared. 5x times 8 is positive 40x. and I'm done with the 5x. And now I move on to the negative 4. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to distribute the negative 4. Negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x. Negative 4 times 8 is negative 32. And then I have to combine my like terms. And the only like terms I have are right here. So I have 10x squared positive 32x minus 32. Okay. Now, I don't care which method you choose. I will tell you, you are going to see me use the box method most often. Okay. All right. I want you to go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to complete these two problems. All right. The first one, 2 things times 2 things. So 2 by 2 box. X plus 2 on the side, x minus 3 on the top. So I have x times x is x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And I need to add up my like terms. So I got x squared. My x's get added up. That's negative 1x minus 6. The second one, 2 things times 2 things. So I make a 2 by 2 box. And remember, if you chose to do the FOIL method, that's fine. Got 3x plus 5 on the side, 2x minus 6 on the top, and I do my multiplications. 3x times 2x, that'd be 6x squared. Don't forget, when you're multiplying the x's, to add the exponents. 3x times negative 6 is negative 18x. 5, that's a nasty 5. 5 times 2x is 10x, and 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. And then we add up our like terms. So we got 6x squared. Add your x's here. So 10x plus negative 18x is negative 8x minus 30. And there's our answer. Now, let's go ahead and look at another example here. This particular one, I want you to notice it's really the same thing, guys, but there's more stuff to it. Okay, so I'm going to use the box to show this. Again, you could use that FOIL principle also. But this one I have 2 things, a binomial, multiplied to 1, 2, 3 things, a trinomial. So if I'm using the box, I just need a slightly bigger box. Instead of 2 by 2, I need a 2 by 3 box. So I need a side with 2 and a side with 3. So there's my side with 2. There's my side with 3. Now on the side with 2, you have to put this binomial. On the side with 3, you have to put your trinomial. Okay? And you're going to do your multiplications. Okay? You start off with the top, and you do your 3a. 3a times a squared. That'd be 3a to the third. 3a times negative 12a. That'd be negative 36. Remember, a times a is a squared. And then we have 3a times 1. That'd be 3a. And now we're on to the bottom. So 4 times a squared is 4a squared. 4 times negative 12a is negative 48a. And 4 times 1 is 4. And then we add up our like terms. Be careful that you actually multiplied things out right, because that'll make a huge difference. This one I have 3a to the third. We add up our a squareds. 4 plus negative 36, that's negative 32. A squareds. We add up our a's. Negative 48a plus 3a, that'd be negative 45a plus 4. Now, even though this looks slightly different, this is literally the exact same thing. I have 3 things multiplied to 2 things. I need a 2 by 3 box. Okay, 2 by 3. Now, on my side with 2, I have to put the binomial, 3b minus 1. On the side with 3, I put my trinomial. 2b squared, 7b, 9. And then I need to do all of my multiplications. 3b times 2b squared is 6b to the third. 3b times 7b is 21b squared. 3b times 9 is 27b. And then I'm down to the negative 1. Negative 1 times 2b squared is negative 2b squared. Negative 1 times 7b is negative 7b. And negative 1 times 9 is negative 9. Add up my like terms. Now we get 6b to the third. Add up my b squareds. I get 19b squared. Add up my b's. I get 20b minus 9. Okay. All right, last 2 problems. If you would please pause the video and complete these 2 problems. All righty. Let's see. 2 by 3 box. Ooh, don't have a lot of space there. There we go. Got 3z plus 2 on the side. 4z squared, 3z, and 5 on the top. So it's going to be 12z to the third, 9z squared, and 15z with my 3 multiplications with the top. On the bottom, multiplying by 2, I would get 8z squared, 6z, and 10. And then I add up my like terms. I should have 12z to the third plus 17z squared plus 21z plus 10. Okay, the bottom one. So I got my binomial, 3x minus 2 on the side. I got my trinomial on the top. This is going to be 9x to the third, 6x squared, and 3x. Then I have, for the negative 2 times 3, so I have negative 6x squared, negative 4x, and negative 2. And I add up my like terms. So I got 9x to the third. Now, the crazy thing is these cancel out. Negative 6 plus 6 for the x squareds, that's 0. So that's gone. Negative 4 plus 3x is negative x minus 2. And that'd be my answer. All right. Don't forget right now before you click turn in on your Google Classroom assignment, grab the little camera on your Chromebook and snap a quick picture of you holding your notes with you. And hopefully we will see you guys, sometime in the near future. After spring break, I will start holding some Google Meets and those types of deals as we get closer to getting ready for our chapter exam. Okay, so you guys have a wonderful break, and I will talk to you soon. Please email, ask any questions that you have. Okay.